Harrison here, and today I've got a pretty cool episode. We travelled over to Germany in the summer to visit a place called JP Performance. Now, those of you that know JP Performance know that it is pretty cool. It's probably one of, if not the biggest automotive inspired brands, culture, garages in Germany. Located in Dortmund, to be specific, is a tuning garage, YouTube channel, and just a pretty cool place to hang out, which is full of modified cars, Porsches, BMWs, Mercedes. So yeah, to give you guys a bit of a backdrop and the story behind JP and who is actually JP. JP is Jean-Pierre Kremer. He is a German automotive enthusiast who basically came from nothing, who couldn't even have a single penny to his name. He was an orphan from a very young age, and to think that he's built all of this success from being an orphan is pretty remarkable in my eyes. But from the stories that I can gather, he kind of had this mechanical spirit inside of him from a very young age, which kind of led him down the path of automotive and design, and decided to found his own company, JP Performance. Now, JP Performance, it did start off as an automotive tuning company where customers would bring the car to him and they'd say, look, I want this done. And it basically just modify people's cars for them. But since then, JP Performance has grew into something more than just a tuning shop. Now it's a creative hub that actually turns these wild car projects into viral content. Content that is literally produced day in, day out, every single day of the week. Today, he'll actually oversee all these builds and he'll do them the way he wants to do them. Whether that's customizing bumpers, side skirts, engine parts, wheels, he'll do it the way that he wants to do it. And if nobody really likes that, then so be it. He's okay with that. But in some weird way, everybody loves it. And it doesn't matter what he does, it really does turn out to be like an art piece. Crazy thing is that Jean-Pierre will actually never sell most of the cars he modifies, for the reason being because he mentioned in one of his videos that if he sells that car, then if a customer has acquired it, people are going to attach his name to that car, which then spikes the prices up massively. So most of the cars that he does and modifies, he keeps. The museum opened in 2022 with the likes of Larry Chen visiting, doing YouTube videos on there. Some pretty famous people have been down. But yeah, the Pace Museum has been presented wonderfully. It is this industrial-like building where there's pieces of art and photography on the walls. Each week as well, he swaps the cars out. So say if you was to visit one week and you visit the next week, you wouldn't see the same cars. They're on a rotating basis. So you could see an ex-Le-Mans Porsche GT3. You could see like the new GT3R Rennsport, for example, or an Audi Quattro that raced in the 2000s. There's just an endless level of design in the building, and you could turn one corner and there'd be something completely different. But then just the way the place, on these stands, and the kind of like eye and head level, so you can look around them in different directions and you think, why was that designed the way it is? And what was the reasoning behind that? It really does get your mind thinking about it. Instead of just kind of walking around and saying, oh, that's another car, you kind of question the design behind it and question the purpose behind that vehicle in a way. See in here, I think that is the turbo on this Mercedes race car. I mean, you can imagine what sound that's going to make with the turbo being right there. It's actually like so cool finding being here, just watching all the videos from JP Performance. You know, the minute I stepped into that door, you just know it's a special place. It's just, there's something that strikes you, and it's so cool. The history that he has, and to come from nothing, to come from a background of poverty basically, and to build something like this, it genuinely makes you believe yourself that you could do it. You know, it gives you that inspiration. It's so admirable to have all these cars, to have your own building, 3 buildings, and to host one of the biggest German YouTube car channels out there. I mean, it is mind-blowing. It's so crazy. See, I'm actually stood here right now where Larry Chen and JP Performance hosted a video. It feels like a movie scene for me. Right here is Larry Chan's photo. And then his car is the orange one, the Nissan. Weirdly enough though, when we visited JP Performance, you know, you could look around and you'd just see so many young enthusiasts. People just coming in the builds, you know, it could be people not much older than me in their 20s, in their 30s. They'd bring like a dubbed out VW Golf, and just shows you this industry and this culture that has absolutely grown massively, especially with young people. Clothing part of it was really unique and special because you could queue up and you could purchase like a blank white, black tee, and you could customize it the way that you wanted. It's like different designs and prints on there. And instead of just buying like a design that they've done for you, you could customize it the way you wanted. And it really adds to this customer experience that you're trying to target. So when you enter JP Performance, it's not just like a garage or, you know, going to an MOT station. You go into a place where you get a full-on experience. You can buy a coffee, you can buy a cream cake, you can buy a big Boost burger, and you can buy some clothes there as well. It's like an empire. It has all these different categories to add to your experience going there. The Big Boost burger joint was an addition in 2017, which when we went, there was a huge queue, and that was like midweek. And you could just imagine the custom that is thrown through there. And then again, the whole experience through getting a burger, you can look up on the ceiling and there's car bonnets, and you can, you know, speak to your pal or your friend and think, what is that one there? But the attention to detail and the craftsmanship behind JP Performance is unlike any other garage. The whole experience that you get from turning up as a customer, and not just with your car, you know, just turning up by yourself and walking there or cycling there. The minute you get there, there's this feeling inside of you that you know it is a special place. You know, it's unlike any other garage out there. And I think that's why it's so successful. I think there needs to be more places like this. I'd love to open one up myself, but there just needs to be more car community places out there that I think you can go to a place and grab a coffee, or, you know, grab a burger like JP's and just sit and admire these pieces of art, pieces of history. in the block now where you get to park your own car. And I think like voters can vote and kind of like say who has the best car, and there's an award for it. I wish I could have a place like this one day. Such a cool place. I mean, as it says on the walls, it is literally like car heaven. But the only one problem I'd say, JP, is that none of the walking guys are actually in English, they're all in German, so unfortunately you don't exactly know what they're saying, but regardless, it is such a cool place. Check this out, guys. This is like the most epic thing you could have above a pool table. A Golf Mark II. I mean, how cool is that? That's unreal. I remember JP saying that it was actually welded to actually get it up there. With BBS wheels on it, an actual reg plate as well. So cool. And then right behind me is the dyno, where you can actually eat a Big Boost burger whilst watching Big Boost cars. There's actually a GTR in there right now. I always get mixed up. This is the R32, Nissan GTR R32. But yeah, so cool. There's even engine blocks on the wall. Wow. I think it's also important to note the stories and acknowledge the history behind these brands, because Jean-Pierre, as I've mentioned already, was an orphan from a very young age. And to come from that sort of background with very little support and build an automotive empire as he has now is really unbelievable. So yeah, that's a story of JP Performance, from a Porsche apprenticeship to a global car culture phenomenon that has his own burger joint, car cafe, museum, massive YouTube channel, built all of that from the ground upwards. It is, you know, again, that testament to the person he is and the brand that he's built. For those car enthusiasts out there, Porsche enthusiasts, it is a place to definitely go. If you're heading over to Germany, you must check it out. There's just so many cool pieces of design and art and engineering that you only get to see once in a lifetime as well. You know, you're so lucky to see these cars that have all this history and they're there in one place. So yeah, definitely check it out. It is such a cool place.